Selamat pagi. This is Tuesday, 30th of September, the last edition of Me versus Me September edition. Lots of growth. So we have one last day to get our process in, and then we will then tabulate what we did for the first month. How close did we get to our intended targets? What were the misses? What were the things we could have done better? But before we get to that tomorrow, so tomorrow's going to be a special edition. Maybe I'll do it separate from the daily review, the daily pre-session, but it will be part of the series as well. But before we go into tomorrow and get ahead of ourselves, let's go into today and tracking my daily targets today. Today is the Tuesday. And this is our status. We're at 82%. The kids are at home, so we've not got any school runs. Means we've got less things to score points from. Means every miss we have drops our daily routine by quite a bit. So I'm a very engineering guy, a technical guy. So I like to see things in sort of like checklists and like percentages, proportions. And when these things were in my head, I used to have a source of stress because these are like open tabs in my Chrome. But now that they are in a Chrome tab, so to say, it helps me keep track. And I know that as long as I'm at 82%, I've got good sleep, I've got good power up in the morning, things will be fine. So that allows me to then open up into my scorecard, which I can then get into my trading execution mode in a more systematic way. So let's go. Emotions and stress levels. Very clean, very good sleep last night. Very good reflection on my trade last night. Trade itself finishing quick was a good plus. Affirmation of my edge is still a trending market, so we are gonna be risking in buying highs, and the risk will be getting stopped out in the lows as the price makes a new low in order to find a new high. So mentally prepared and balanced and patient. So part of that is acknowledging that these stop losses are risk controls that I have designed and positioned in place because the market respects them, and I should respect them too. So detachment from the outcome was something I didn't quite do yesterday. I did, but not completely. I went at 60% rather than the full 1% risk. I went at 0.6%. So that is something that I want to anticipate again today and avoid doing so. To which point I believe my call for today will be interesting to you, where I'm going in the market. Distractions is removed as much as they are. In terms of my ability to execute at 11 a.m., I'm pretty free for the next 20 minutes or at 6 p.m. every day, which brings us then to our forecasting and setup. So let's switch to our side view. Now, yesterday was a very interesting trade. Asia completed its 1800 points in 3 hours, 180 pips. And then London formed a zigzag, and sure enough, it closed on a black. So that was the entry point, and I was hesitant to even take the trade because I've had been burned once here in London and second time here. So 2 consecutive Tuesdays I've been burnt in London's. So that's why I was a bit shy on this Monday London, but I still committed at 0.6% risk rather than the full. Something I would need to review in further. Yes. Okay. So knowing that, don't break stuff, can you? Be nice, be careful, okay? Once you break something, you tell Coco. See you. You want them to enjoy Lego, and yet you know it's gonna end up in an argument and you're gonna have to break them up. So it's kind of like this conflict we have with the market. We want to know that we know that we want to get into risk, but we also know that when we get into too much risk, go into too many decision-making points, we end up being inefficient. So focusing on the 2 entry points allowed me to reduce my decisions. And then at that point is a question of how much you execute. You execute the full, you execute 0.3 or 0.6. So reducing that decision point really helped. And I know that my decision was going between full or 0.6. I wasn't going to go 0.3. I wasn't going to go full, right? So it's a kind of like, for those poker players out there, GTO kind of move. And that's kind of thing that I want to simplify my trading to be. I want to go optimal. I know I can't be always 100% perfect, but I want to go optimal. Near optimal, right? So today's forecast, the market is still going up. There's nothing other than that. The target SL is 230 pips for Asia. So that's below today's low and 230 pips up. So I'm quite happy to execute this Asia. That's why I was actually giving away love hints even before turning into the chart. So looking at M30, you can see our MA has actually entered the Asia zone. So 230 pips would allow us to see a flip of the price, and yeah, we can react and get out at a discount. So execution is buy for Asia. We are going to prep for that. We're going to switch back to our journaling. A+ plan strategy, it's a buyer with our stops in play, with our exit loss in play. Outcome, plan execution. I take my trade, one and done, right? In sync with the market and my process as much as I can be. And that leaves us with a score of 82.67. And then after the trade, we'll get more scoring done. So I think today has been a sneak preview of what the first month me versus me review is going to be. It's going to be, it has been a refreshing journey, to say the least. I'll elaborate more in the video next. I don't give too much away, do I? So until tomorrow, this is Kenny, completing the first month of me versus me. It wasn't that many episodes. It wasn't an everyday session, everyday stream. But I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to joining you in the next stream tomorrow. Until tomorrow. Peace.